On St. Mark's Square in Zagreb, Croatia already seems to be at home in the European Union. That goes for the musicians in front of the Parliament building, for Croatian cuisine, and of course for the capital's architecture. But for 12 Croatians, the EU is really moving into focus. One of them is Tonino Picula. Picula, a member of the Social Democratic Party, will represent Croatia in the European Parliament for a year.
I fulfilled my political dream to see my country member of European Union. But in the meantime, I became political realist. And I know that within the European Union, nations and individuals and families must fight.
The Sabor, the Croatian Parliament, is marking Statehood Day. And in a sense, it's also celebrating EU accession, says Tonino Picula. No other country had to negotiate as long and as hard. As the guests of honor know, the criteria for admission are growing ever stricter.
I think you have to, in life, you have to have some pressure to be better. And the European Union will bring pressure to us, motivation.
Tonino Picula's next appointment is in downtown Zagreb, just below the Parliament, at his party's headquarters. Picula has been an observer at the EU for a year now and is constantly commuting back and forth.
And then we also want to meet on an informal basis with some of the MEPs as well, like in the evening, to just chit-chat.
Chit-chat, yeah, informal.
For
yeah.
a while, informal.
Yeah, okay.
The next day, he's already in Brussels, the political heart of the EU. Picula needs every contact he can make.
Very busy week. A couple dozen of the meetings.
First priority for the new parliamentarians from Croatia is to make themselves heard. At the EU Parliament, Picula's fellow Social Democrat Neven Mimica is introducing himself. He's slated to become EU Commissioner for Consumer Policy. He briefly greets the Croatian interpreters who've arrived for work. Then come 3 hours of debate. Picula has to decide who he will back. The EU is a club in the midst of a financial crisis, and many countries have already aligned themselves. Greece wants more sharing of burdens. That would also help Spain and Croatia, which is in the doldrums economically. So that tends to put Croatia on France's side in its quarrel with Germany over fiscal stringency. The Croatians also want to keep the British and their attractive job market in the EU. Picula doesn't want to show his hand too much. At his next appointment with the German Foundation, he treads lightly and promises to abide by the reform program.
As a member of the cabinet, there is no reason to party. It's not party time. And we need to understand very seriously that we are part of the most important political and economical project in the entire European history, but story, it's not over yet.
That is the kind of talk the EU likes to hear. Everyone hopes that Croatia will make a good addition to the club in crisis.
Joining the European Union doesn't mean your economy will suddenly grow. It's up to Croatia to push its own development within the framework of the European community. And that will be difficult.
Zagreb is pinning great hopes on EU accession. Tonino Picula has a mountain of work to do.
I'll be with my family, I do believe, over the weekends, because I intend to spend time between Monday and Thursday in Brussels and Strasbourg.
The Croatian Parliament can count on receiving 11 billion euros in EU aid through 2020. For that, Picula would gladly move entirely to Brussels if he wins again in next year's European elections.